It's just a nice smell. Okay, someone left a comment in my last video asking me to turn the volume down because I'm assuming the mic or my voice is too loud, and let me know if it's much better this time, guys. Thank you very much for the feedback. So, thank you very much for watching my channel, everyone. I have been noticing that I've been getting views, and they were things that I never thought I would get, and I am just very, very grateful that there are people willing to watch my channel and listen to the things that I have to say, because I do know that talking about books is something that's very passionate to me, and I do put quite a bit of effort into editing and things like that. It is very tedious. To reflect a little bit, I do see a big change in my confidence, which is something that I appreciate, seeing that grow. I do feel a lot more confident in talking about things around people, in public, in real life, when I'm like interacting socially, and I kind of know myself. And I do believe the saying that I heard, where when you get a YouTube, like when you start YouTube, you do become more confident. I do believe that, and you do grow your communication skills. I do kind of see a difference there. So thank you to everyone that's been watching my channel, and spending your time watching me. I greatly appreciate it. I have a question for you. Do you read? How many books do you read a year? Did you know that audiobooks don't count as books? I'm just kidding. None of those questions matter, because in this video I would like to talk about reading. And as it's been reported, there is a steep decline in the amount of time someone reads for pleasure. In fact, according to this article by University of Florida, there's a 40% drop in over 2 decades of Americans reading for pleasure. Now, this video is not about shaming anyone who does not read or does not like to read. That's not what I'm trying to get across. I'm not calling you stupid or anything, but I do want you to recognize that reading is fundamental to growth and learning. And if you want to continuously grow and learn throughout your life, best thing to do is to pick up a few books and learn how to read. Now, I've had interactions with people where, including myself, where they did not like to read. I've never been someone that never liked to read. I like reading. I'm a very slow reader, but I do like reading. And these people were always the type of people who cared a lot about how they were perceived by others. They could not stand to be by themselves. They could not stand to do certain hobbies and things by themselves. They always had to have attention on them. And I kind of noticed a correlation between people that confessed they did not like to read and people that, constantly needed validation and attention from others. And I'm not saying that reading can help you, become more individualistic, which I think is a good quality. I don't think you need to be totally independent, but I do think you have to recognize who you are as an individual and embrace that. I think reading, especially in some areas that you like, can help you do that. And I've learned that on my own with myself. I think it can also help with seeking a lot of external validation and attention from people. I wanted to give my thoughts on what in the world world is going on where people do not feel that they need to read. I remember talking with my aunt about the Michael movie that recently came out, and she was explaining to me that with a lot of live action or movies that come out, um, companies attempt to rewrite history, and that means that there's a story of something that has happened. It's been documented with documentaries, books, um, I guess you could put music, newspapers, etc., etc. It's been well documented. Um, but people won't take that time to go read, and myself included. She was talking about me in there too. And they won't take their time to go read those past documents and the anecdotal evidence. However, they will pay to go see a movie, which will not all the time entail the factual evidence and the actual truth that happened in that time. It's going to be kind of a fluff kind of thing that is going to entertain you. And a lot of the world right now is very big on entertainment and would trade that over reading. You know, even, and I noticed this even when it comes to reading a book for pleasure. Um, it's not easy. It's very hard to focus on it because you want to do other things that's going to divide your attention. And for me, I've learned that reading has really helped me focus more. So as I've been trying to develop the habit more and more after I graduated from school, because I wanted to be a self-educated person, I've learned that with reading, it's something that changes your brain, and you really don't see the changes, but you do feel the changes. There's words that, that have been added to my vocabulary that I was unsure I knew the definition of, but I did actually know the definition of the word, um, because I read it in a book somewhere. And when you read, it helps you, it helps you strengthen your vocabulary skills, and it helps you strengthen your communication skills. What I want to attempt to do is, I guess, get you pumped up to read, because reading is not a bad thing. Yes, it feels uncomfortable, especially when you're building a habit of reading. However, reading is something that can elevate you, and it can grow you, and it can change you as a person. There is a book that I have here, How to Study the Bible for Yourself by Tim LaHaye. And I and I had a part here that I wanted to read. For all practical purposes, reading is the foundation of all learning. Someone has said, if you can read, you can learn anything. And that this book is talking about, studying the Bible and why it's important. If you're going to be someone that studies, you have to be someone that reads. And I think it's very important to find the things that you like to read. I think that's where you should start first. You can go to the library. The library is free. I have multiple library cards, and I check out books all the time. I also buy books, but that's a different story. The book I'm currently reading right now is Fahrenheit 451. It is, I've already read this book, but I do want to read, this is the 60th anniversary, and I do want to read the extra parts, which is right here. And then also, I want to read um, the introduction. I already read that. Golden State by Ben H. Winters. And I saw this book in a bookstore like almost 10 years ago. And it's been stuck in my mind so long. I saw it at Dollar Tree and I picked it up and it was $1. So I bought it. And the only reason why I think it was $1 is because there are some ink mishaps somewhere in the book. But I don't care because, I mean, I can just ignore it and look past it. It's like when they have um, typos in a book and things like that. I'm just looking past it. It's not going to ruin anything for me. So I haven't started reading this. I have other books that I've read and I've collected. Children's books. This is a Dr. Seuss book. One of my favorites right here. You don't have to just read adult books or books in your age range. I read adult books. I read children's books. I read young adult books. I read middle school books. Dr. Seuss. Another Dr. Seuss book that I got from Goodwill. Cat in the Hat. A classic that's also banned for some reason. And then I also have not just books, but I have mangas. This is my copy of Naruto volumes 1 through 3. I only have like 2 of them. I have to get more of them. But I even annotated this one. I think I've talked about this one before. But you can do that. Well, I didn't write in the book, but I did. I do have little tabs on my favorite parts. You can do that. It's your books. You can personalize them. You can write in them. In one of my copies of my books, I wrote little notes and things like that. You can make it fun for yourself. This is a kid's book that I read all the time. I still read this book. It's called You Are Special by Max Lucado. And I love this book because it's about Punchinello, and he is really sad and depressed about, getting all these stickers. And he meets Eli, who is the maker of all the wooden people, and he tells him, "You're special because I made you," which is a reflection of how God views us and how a lot of times we are judged. Well, not, I wouldn't say judged, but are, compared against and compared to other people. And I've had this book since I think 2015. This book is really old, but I love this book. I will never ever buy another copy of this book because I love this book and I still read it to this day. I have 2 new books that I bought. The Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. They had a 2-for-1 deal, $2 for $1 deal at the library, so I couldn't pass this up because it was kind of reminding me of Only Ever Yours by I forgot the name of the author that wrote that book, but I remember checking it out from the library and I absolutely loved that book. So I love like dystopian novels and things like that. So definitely wanted to read this as soon as I saw that it was written in 2005. And a really cool thing is it also has a preview to the next chapter at the end. And they don't do those in books anymore, I think. I haven't seen those recently in any new books, but I thought that was really cool. And then this was the free book I got. It's called If I Could Turn Back Time by Beth Harbison. And it was kind of giving, based on the blurb, like 17 Again vibes. And I like 17 Again a lot. The one with Zac Efron. And hopefully, it delivers when I read it. But I have so many books that I've purchased: fiction, nonfiction, Christian books that can help me learn more about, my mind and help me learn more about God. Notebooks, that's a different video. That's writing. That's different. Books about writing, books about reading, books about researching, books about everything. And one that I'm currently really, really, really excited about is this book right here. This is not a like reading book, but I just recently bought it. It's a planner, and I really like it because it's so plain. I have a planner that I use, and it has like the dream, like what's your dreams and goals. But this one has like you see the pages. It's just like, can you see it? They're so simple. Like you can't like they're so simple. So you can add any kind of color or anything to it. But I was just excited to show that. But pretty much, I said all that to say, and I end this video with this. Reading is not about impressing other people. Reading is about bettering yourself and being the person that you want to be. Read what you like, and don't let someone else tell you that you shouldn't be able to read what you like. I think it's interesting because people that read are seen as nerds. They're seen as not someone who cares about themselves socially, and I don't think that's true. I think that people that do read do care about themselves. Sorry, my earphones just broke. People that do read do care about themselves personally. I think that they are more interested in growing themselves. I do think it can be a clutch sometimes, but I also believe that popular kids, because I was not popular in high school, popular kids can also be readers. They can also be smart and not stupid and care about their grades and things like that. Like you don't have to fit this mold where you fit this facade, this thing from TV. You can read what you want to read. Audiobooks count. They're called books. Ebooks count. Read the best way you can as long as you are getting things in that's feeding your brain and that's nurturing you, and you can grow and learn something. That's the purpose of reading. So I said all that to basically say, read something. You know, put your phone down, focus for like at least 5 minutes, and read something. It can be a short story or it can be a chapter of a book, but reading is fundamental to our society, and I think we would be a lot more better off entertainment wise and emotionally wise. Is that a word? If we begin to challenge ourselves to read more books and things like that. Now, where I live, there's not a shortage on reading. We love to read here, okay? We just opened up a bunch of Barnes and Nobles, and we're going to open some more up, okay? So I'm grateful for that. However, please make sure you prioritize reading at least, a few times a day. So I leave you with that. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you soon.